This is such a special event that I took a break from my rigorous nap schedule to be here.
Michelle Obama gives a speech, and everyone loves it. It's fantastic. They think she's absolutely great. My wife, Melania, gives the exact same speech. And people get on her case.
I have deep respect for people like Kellyanne Conway. She's working day and night for Donald, and because she's a contractor, he's probably not even going to pay her.
Here she is tonight, in public, pretending not to hate Catholics.
But Donald really is as healthy as a horse. You know, the one Vladimir Putin rides around on.
All right, to George Schlatter, who I know wrote a few of those jokes, of course, of laugh-in fame, one of the greatest comic geniuses the world has ever known. George, good to see you. What do you think of it? They're zinging each other. Some say they got a little too personal, a little too heated. What do you think?
Well, it was like watching mud wrestling, you know. Neither one of them are that funny, but Trump has made it very difficult to be funny. You can't be funny. When the clown does a pratfall, you laugh, but when a cripple does a pratfall, you say no. Well, watching Donald Trump is like watching a three-car accident, and he just says anything he wants. He says nasty lady, he says deport all of the illegal aliens, he says don't let any Muslims in the country. And
wait a minute, you don't see, wait a minute, I didn't know. Great liberal backer, comic genius, Hollywood insider, not a fan of Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah, I am a fan of him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Go ahead.
You know, though, I was thinking a little bit about there were more genteel times when candidates would rib themselves. I think Jack Kennedy famously trying to put the wealth issue to bed, saying that his father wasn't about to pay for a landslide. But from those innocent days, it's morphed into something a lot more heated. So if this is the world we live in, George, I mean, if candidates were to come to you and seek advice, on the right or the left, because I know you're a fair and balanced guy, how would you help them? What would you tell them to do?
You know I'm a what? This guy? What?
You're a fair and balanced guy.
Fair and balanced.
Just play along for
really
this particular segment, yes.
I'm glad you're back, Neil. You're adding a bit of sanity to an insane situation. I would tell both of them to just back off a little bit and take a breath and stop snowballing. I mean, he's ranting and raving like a small child, and then he says they're not being fair to him. Then he says he's not going to accept the verdict, and then it's impossible to add any sanity to this. We in the 60s, Nixon said, "I am not a crook," right? And we had fun with that. We had fun with all of that stuff. But now it's serious because one of these people could win.
But you also famously gave Richard Nixon an opportunity to show another side on Laugh-In, saying "sock it to me." So
yes.
You made him president.
And I've had to live with that. But we had no idea it would go this far. You know, the thing last night was interesting. I mean, Trump started out okay, but then the wheels came off. And then, you know, when he said, but she hates Catholics. Donald, no. And when he said nasty woman, no, Donald, no. Take a pill.
But then she, you know, I understand where you're coming from. These kind of zings can be in the eye of the beholder. Many agree with you that he went a little too far. But how do you advise people to make fun of themselves without, you know, without going too far? What's that balance? What's that line?
Well, it's called taste, and it's called intelligence, and it's called restraint. And say, okay, is it mean? Is it funny? And is it true? There's got to be a little bit of truth. The problem that we have now with the Trump and this whole thing is that even the late-night comics are having trouble doing jokes, because when the subject's already a joke, it's difficult to make jokes about a cripple, you know. And,
but where
so
did this sudden concern for serious, and we can't really laugh at this anymore because we're worried about where it's going?
Well,
where did this sudden thing come from?
I didn't say we can't laugh at this anymore. We must laugh at this. And if the answer to our future is in one thing, it would be in giving the comics room to breathe, because they say that the emperor doesn't have any clothes on, and then mention that he's not very well endowed. I mean, they are the answer, I think. And but they're having a tough time now coming up with anything that is more outrageous than he is saying.
All right. Well,
so it's you remember in the 60s we did a joke. This whole, and it was interesting that nobody mentioned his recent activities, you know, with these models. And I was surprised that nobody brought that up, because it's a very, very potent subject.
All right. But Hillary Clinton, you just gave her a total pass. A total pass.
Well, no, she did very, very well. She's not. Trump pretends to be a comic. You know,
I think you're blocking. I think you're blocking, and I don't know why you're blocking.
I'm blocking what?
I have no idea. But it was very good having you.
No.
George, I wish we had more time.
I'm so glad you're back.
Thank you, my friend.
What?
You're a class act. George Schlatter.
I'm glad you're back.
And I'm glad that you're back with me, that I'm back. Thank you very much. We'll have more after this. I'm serious about that.